Hi everyone, this is day 11 of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge by Ethany, and today we're going to talk about the oracle decks that we want to work with most in 2019. So these four oracle decks are the decks that I purchased last year, with the exception of the Earthbound Oracle. And for some reason, after I purchased them, I only used them for a short while, either because I found out that the decks was not really what I was looking for, or because I felt disconnected with them, or I found that they are not the suitable decks to read others with. So yeah, I haven't used these four decks for quite some time, and my plan is, because I already have enough decks for now, I plan to revisit these decks and see whether they can be used in different ways this year, and I will find out how to use them more effectively. So yeah, so first of all, it's the Earthbound Oracle. This one I purchased on Etsy, and it's quite cheap, only maybe $20, which is why I think this is my first indie deck that I bought. And I actually really love this Oracle deck. I mean, this is I don't regret buying this Oracle deck. I really don't. It has like kicked my butt quite a few times, and it's also I mean, the artwork is really gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's a very earthy deck, and I mean, the keyword and the picture, it's like they complement each other so well and brings up the meaning of the deck to the fore. So even though this oracle deck does not have a guidebook, you can guess from the, I mean, from the artwork, from the emotion brought up by the marvelous artwork, what the card is, what a particular card is trying to say. However, because of the lack of the lack of guidance, the lack of guidebook, sometimes I need to think quite hard in order to find out what a particular card really means. Like this one, creativity. I don't think what do you call this? A chameleon is quite a create is is the right symbol for creativity, because it only blends with its surroundings. But I guess what it means is that by blending the colors of its surroundings, it creates something new, a hybrid that looks as seamless as its surroundings. So I guess that's what creativity means here. But you really need to, this deck force you to think, because yeah, it forces you to read read the pictures very intuitively. And yeah, it's, I mainly use it to read myself, because if I read others with this deck, then I may need to think a lot and for a long time of about what a particular card means. But yeah, this is a very earthy and gorgeous deck. Even though it forces you to think, like for example, if you only draw a single card and it says air, you will think this could be interpreted in a different ways, in 1,000 different ways. So that's why I only use it once in a while, when I need a really deep and profound message for myself. Then I will take out this deck and read with it. So yeah, I don't regret purchasing this deck. It's just that it's not a deck that I will use on daily basis, only for when I'm doing a spread for myself that about an issue that I really need in-depth that I really require in-depth answer to. So yeah, so that's the Earthbound Oracle. Excuse my voice, I have a sore throat. Oops. Okay, let's put that away for a while. Okay, next one is the Journey Oracle. So I fell in love with this Oracle deck, and when I first saw it, and I don't know why, because this deck is not very popular. There are only very few unboxing videos and pictures of this deck on the internet, but I really like the feminine feeling to it. And I don't know, I think I just love the style of the art. I mean, the art is very whimsical, and it has certain features, certain symbols that exist in every card, like this heart here. It exists in almost every card, so that there is a continuity, there is a theme about this deck that makes it very appealing. So yeah, there is a quirky, whimsical feeling to this deck that I really love, and I really don't mind the borders. It just surprised me that this deck is not very popular with the tarot and oracle community. I can see why though, because after reading a couple of times with this deck, I feel like this deck is like the Earthbound Oracle. It's more suitable to for personal reading rather than reading for other people. And because last year I spend most of the time reading for other people than myself, I turn to other decks that are more suitable for collective reading. So that's why I didn't use this deck and the Earthbound Oracle a lot, because yeah, they are really decks that I rather use personally. And this blue egg here, the blue robin egg, is also exists in several cards, and the guidebook says that it's a symbol of the author's it symbolizes the author's two children. So this resilient card is one of my favorite cards in this deck, and it's one of the cards that sold me to this deck. See the blue robin egg again. I think this deck is also, I mean, the art is beautiful, and the keyword is also complements the artwork very well. I mean, they go hand in hand together. So I really enjoy reading with this deck. Yeah, this deck also sometimes makes you think, but it's not as mysterious and in-depth as the Earthbound Oracle. It's mostly you get the idea from the expression of the people, of the women in this deck. Vampire. This home card is also one of my most favorite, if not the most favorite card in this deck. Defiance, Eve, Rebirth. So yeah, this is a very feminine, very gorgeous deck, and I think I think just by looking at the artwork and the keyword, you can already get the meaning without the guidebook, which is, I think the guidebook, I'm glad that it came with the guidebook, but you can also read this deck intuitively. So that is the Journey Oracle, and the next oracle that I want to work with more this year is the Peace Oracle. So last year when I saw this deck online, I was captured by the artwork because it's so, I don't know, it's so peaceful, it's so tranquil, and I felt that this deck is a very good deck for healing, for spiritual comfort, for when you need a gentle nudge, when you need a gentle reminder of your of something, of personal issues. I mean, look at that release card. I got this card several times last year. It's, yeah, it's sort of, I mean, just by looking at the artwork you can feel its energy, the energy of releasing your pain and hurt, and that everything is going to be okay. I mean, the card kind of encourage you to accept your emotion, to spill everything out, and everything will be all right. You are all right. So yeah, I think that's what I love most about this card. It's the tranquil, the peaceful energy, the healing energy. However, I'm not really a fan of this kind of artwork, but I have to say this kind of artwork works with the purpose of this deck. I mean, it conveys the purpose of this deck effectively, but this is not this is normally not a deck that I usually go to. So yeah, I use this deck several times for when I need healing, and when I was in the low times of my life, I use this deck to gently comfort and advise me. And I look forward to a chance to work again with this deck this year, as I continue my personal inner healing. So the art is by I think Tony Carmine Salerno. I think the author has made several decks, and he I think some of the artworks are recycled in the other decks that the author published. Alright, just want to find out if there is any information about the author. I don't think so. Oh, there. Oh, it's a he. So yeah, yeah, I think these arts I have seen in Gaia Oracle and some other Oracle decks. I think the artists are the same artists. So yeah, like this healing card, I mean, I really love the Van Gogh feel art style in this card. I mean, it really brings up the emotion that the card wants to convey. Everlasting life. So yeah, this is a card, a good oracle deck when you do inner work or shadow work. You can use this deck as a complementary advice. Abundance. So I really there are lots of garden Van Gogh art style in this deck, which I really love. Realization. Some of the pictures look almost the same, but there are always I think I have no problem distinguishing them from each other. Gratitude. So yeah, this is a very beautiful deck, and I'm looking forward to find out how this deck can be used in more than one way this year. And lastly, the Sacred Earth Oracle. I was really drawn into this deck more so than the Peace Oracle, and I bought them almost at the same time, and I was kind of confused at the time whether to get this one first or the Peace Oracle. But finally, I think I bought this one first because I really love the artwork. It's so gorgeous, it's so earthy, so I don't know, it's, I mean, I really love the borderless art, the how it brings up the beauty and the colors, and the keyword which is printed in white and with no borders, the glossy and the glossy surface and the size, the back, which is I mean, I think this is a very earthy deck, and I don't regret at all buying this deck, and I still love it. However, I find it hard to read others with this deck because sometimes the keyword and the art does not complement each other, and sometimes there is one or two card that makes you go huh when you first look at it, because the keyword and the artwork does not match. So there are not many cards like this one. This is one of the cards that match between that where the art and the keyword match, but there are some that are not so much. And there are some cards that almost hold almost the same message, like this one center, the other is core, fortitude. This reminds me of the emperor, aliens, alchemy, time. Yeah, like this one, context. But this, I mean, there is little, there are almost nothing in this artwork that screams context to me. So you need to really think about what the card is trying to say. Maybe you cannot look at just one part of the whole picture, but you have to look at everything to get the correct picture, the correct situation, to get the whole meaning or the whole emotion of a person or a situation. Well, maybe that's the meaning, I don't know. But yeah, there are some cards that, like this one, dependability. I mean, this card to me looks like a union more than dependability. And if you look at the guidebook, it's more confusing because the guidebook talks about something else altogether, like something that sounds too good to be true probably is. Choose dependability over grandiose promise. Stay focused and stick to your goal. So yeah, I mean, this deck is not a deck that you can get the meaning, the correct meaning from a first glance. I mean, you have to rethink and connect the explanation and the keyword and the art, and sometimes it's very hard to do that because sometimes the art and the keyword and the explanation on the guidebook, they don't really match. And yeah, so sometimes I use my intuition. I mean, I just discard the guidebook altogether and just read it by intuition. Like this one, absence. I mean, you don't immediately get a feeling of absence in this card. You have to read the guidebook to understand that this is about the absence of light, how you appreciate light more when it's not there, when you are in darkness. So yeah, these cards make you force you to think as well. I don't really like this particular art because it looks like this woman has some kind of alien thing in her stomach. So yeah, I don't and it really doesn't scream clarity to me, apart from the amethyst. So yeah, I don't know. Brilliance is one of the cards that work. Surface, like this one again. Does it mean that you have a more colorful personality beneath the cold surface, or is it vice versa? I think in the guidebook it's not like that as well. Accept someone at face value. So yeah, I mean, it's different from what I thought when I first saw this card. So um, that's why I didn't work with it too often last year, because there are some cards that make me go ha when I see them, like this one, moderation. What is there to moderate? And I mean, is it moderation like being staying in middle ground, or is it moderation like holding back from showing off yourself? So yeah, you can interpret that card in two very different ways, and uh, you cannot immediately know from looking just at looking at the card alone what it means. A coping mechanism has served you reach its limit. So yeah, maybe it means that this human here, she is wearing the same feather, the same disguise as the bird, but her disguise is not very successful because she's not a bird, she's a human. So there's no use for her to take a moderate way to conceal herself. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, some of these cards makes you think, and sometimes we just go by our wild guess. But nevertheless, this is a very very beautiful deck, and I look forward to work more with it this year. Maybe not in live reading or something, maybe not in personal reading, but more as collective reading, three card pick kind of thing. Because yeah, because one card alone has a lot of meanings you can read into. So yeah, these are the oracle decks that I want to work with more in 2019. Okay, I hope you enjoy the video, and see you for day 12.